Hey guys, it's TF Now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This time it's going to be of the brand new Hasbro Marvel Legends series, part of the newest release of Spider-Man Marvel Legends figures, Spider-Shot, aka Assassin Spider-Man, which I will admit, not super familiar with the stories involving Spider-Shot, but I did read up on it a little bit. This is an alternate universe Spider-Man where he is basically an assassin. Very cool to see. Just an alternate universe version of this. This is a design that I thought was pretty easy for the Marvel Legends team to do, and they really haven't done it for some whatever reason until now. So it's cool that they did it. And on the Renew Your Vows, aka the 2020 retro body as well. I'm also trying to get the Scarlet Spider and Tombstone, but I don't know when I'll be able to get those. This whole wave so far is pretty nice. As you see here, we do have a blister card, which I ordered this on Amazon, and thankfully they did not bend it, which is kind of sick. They usually destroy the packages when I pre-order this. Anyway, you can see on the top half of the box it says Marvel Spider-Man ages 4 and up. This is more of a unique type of blister card here that we got with some Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures last year, as opposed to how they usually look with the 90s stuff. You can see an image on the left side of Spider-Shot. Bottom half here, you can see the rest of the figure, as well as where it says Spider-Shot, as well as Marvel Legends series, warning choking hazard, as well as the Hasbro logo. Now here is a wide shot of the back of the packaging. Just give you a quick look of that, because when we get a little bit closer, you can see a full body shot of Spider-Shot on the right, as well as multilingual read-ups if you want to read that. Spider-Shot, Marvel Legends series as well. Down here is multilingual warnings and other stuff in fine print I can't really read. But when we finally turn the box to the side here, you can see the barcode in case you need that. I'll pause right there in case you need to screenshot that. Here is the figure out of the packaging. So far, it is pretty nice. I haven't really messed around with it too much. It's pretty familiar. You know, of course, they're reusing parts like they do a lot in this line. But the parts that are being reused here are appropriate and actually pretty nice. And there is a little bit of new here going on, of course. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Now, before we actually start the accessory portion, while you're looking at him in this pose, I do want to mention something that, it's not really a rant, but something I've been noticing lately. I think other people have been noticing with the Marvel Legends Spider-Man stuff, is that we've been getting them in blister cards, which is really cool. The blister cards are awesome in this line. But also, we haven't been getting that many Build-A-Figures with the Spider-Man stuff lately, which is it's kind of weird to see, because I feel like there's still some Build-A-Figures they could do that are Spider-Man related. I don't know if they're just trying to cut costs by, reducing the plastic that we get with these Spider-Man Marvel Legends, that licensing for Spider-Man is that much more compared to other Marvel heroes. That doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe it does, I don't know. But also maybe they're just running out of ideas of what they could do for Build-A-Figures in the Spider-Man stuff. I don't really know, but I'm not going to really complain with this particular figure because we still get a decent amount of actual stuff, including these really cool blast effects. If I can zoom in and focus up. These blast effects, while they are similar, they are not the same than what we've gotten with other characters like Black Widow and other, gun-having characters that we've gotten with blast effects over the couple of years here. It's a little bit more flat here with a bit more of like some sprawled out blast effects going here to like a yellowish, almost greenish. I think they're supposed to be yellow, but I think the light hits it. It looks a little green. The idea is you could tell where the flat side is here. You just insert it into the fingers with the 2 pointers, and I don't have it in there all the way, but there we go, like that. It does. I don't really know if it's actually, I don't know if I've posed it wrong or anything. It does kind of want to stick out this way, where it should kind of go a little bit more outward. Kind of wants to go in, probably because of the actual sculpt in the whole of the hands. We'll talk about these during the detail portion, but I do also want to talk about the hands that we also have here. We don't have wall crawling hands, but we do have a pair of fists that we've gotten plenty of times in line. They're fine. They are slightly glossy, but mostly a matte type of black to match the rest of the black going on with Spider-Shot. And then we do have some whipping hands right here, which again, we've gotten these plenty of times. No need to really go crazy over these, or at least, when it comes to talk about how detailed they are. They're still pretty nice. I do want to show some quick images with the fists. You guys are familiar with how to interchange hands in the Marvel Legends line. They interchange really well on this particular figure, as well as with the thwipping hands here. They, again, interchange really easily. There's not much of a problem. Just like with a lot of Marvel Legends, interchangeable hands is really not that much of a problem here. Sorry to derail at the beginning of a section again, but it is pretty windy out today. There's something tapping on my window. If you hear that, that is out of my control. I do apologize for that. Of course, you know, looking at this head on, you can tell this is a lot of reuse from previous Spider-Man figures. First thing that comes to mind, of course, is the retro body from 2020. You could see that the leg, like the hips and the shoulders, I think, are the exact same. And I'm mentioning that because when we look at Renew Your Vows, you might be thinking, well, Renew Your Vows is the same as the retro figure. In most ways, of course, but the shoulders are different. So if I can even do this with 3 figures, here we go. So you could see that with more of that exposed joint right there in the middle, it's similar to the one on the right. That's the 2020 version. That's not apparent in the 2022 Renew Your Vows figure. But you can see that the biceps are the same with the one in the middle with the one on the left there. Renew Your Vows in Spider Shot. Being a little bit different sculpt-wise compared to the retro 2020 figure. And the hips are the same on the... we have the hips that are the same on 2020 and Spider Shot. Whereas I don't want to say it's more narrow, but it's more rounded sculpt-wise and with a bit more space to expose the joint on Spider Shot compared to what we have. It's a little bit more, less rounded and a little bit more natural looking on the Renew Your Vows version. So, you have the pinless tech arms, and I believe these legs are the exact same sculpt as all 3 of them, pretty sure. With pinless tech here, and then we have the shoulders and hips from Renew Your Vows, which has the pins. So slight kit bashing here and there from different bodies, but very much, of course, with that rambling out of the way for that, it is very much the updated, pretty highly articulated Spider-Man with tons of articulation going on in here. A little bit bulkier as well. This head sculpt is really nice. I can see a little bit of a red splotch on the black. That's a tiny bit disappointing, but the red comes through really nice. One thing you're going to notice, like with a decent amount of Marvel Legends, is that it's really just one tone of paint for the red. And then we have molded in all black. And I was watching Displaying Model Behavior, and they actually said it best, where they really just make it more of a 2D type of deal here, and they really don't add really any shading. Not saying like it needs to be cell shaded or anything, but even just a slight bit of shading, based on like when the light hits it in certain comic panels, that would be a little bit nice instead of just having it, a little bit of a basic molded black color here. Again, though, like the head sculpt looks good, and you can see some black paint in there, but again, I gotta fix whatever's going on with that chip with the red there. And there is, actually, is it painted black and then they painted the red around it as well? Or did they mold this and then they I don't know if this is molded black or painted black, but either way, you can see a little bit of red bleeding into there. Some of the black looks like it's kind of bleeding as well, but this still looks really good. When you bend that back, that little point there actually doesn't break the seam too much. It actually kind of breaks it more when you go forward there. Same thing on the back here. It kind of gets broken up when you do that. It definitely gets broken up when you do that. And the back spider is actually a little bit more clean than the front one. You can see a little bit of black splotching right there. But again, you have some space for a neck joint going on right here. Is that the same as right here? Yeah. I don't believe the 20... Yeah, they all have a space on the neck joint there. I think it's a little bit more prominent on the Renew Your Vows version. Backing out a little bit, you get to see a lot of the musculature going on in there, around here with the ribs and the abs, and then the, muscles going on the bicep, as well as the tricep, and then up in the shoulders as well. And these hands here are these new hands just for Spider Shot. that have I'd like to see them renew the like reuse this, I should say, without the hole in there, so like retooling it a bit. But you could see this is how he shoots: an index and middle finger being pointed, and then you have the hole right there, which since it's all in black, it hides it really well. You know, that hole. So that's what these hands look like. This is what the other hand looks like there. We have painted red here with a little bit of a black type of band looking piece right there. One thing that's also slightly new here are these glued on pouches. You know, if you try hard enough, you could rip these off. Maybe if you wanted to use these for a custom of a character, if you want to put these pouches on something like a Captain America or even like a G.I. Joe or something, you could. I wouldn't want to do that with this. I don't have any ideas for that. But that's something I thought would be interesting to mention. It seems, I don't know if they're glued on here, or if there's a peg being, protruded from the body, like retooled into this. I can only assume that it's glued on here, but it's pretty secure. I mean, if you pull really tight and maybe get like a X-Acto knife, you can cut stuff off. But just pulling on it right now with, decently, nothing's coming off. A little bit of red going on here. It's like a point, and you have some stretching on the buttocks there. Backing out a little bit again. Nothing that you guys aren't familiar with when it comes to the sculpt of these thighs. These are the same as what we have with the retro figure. It might be a little bit difficult to tell when you look. Definitely right here where both my index fingers are, you can see the exact same sculpt going on the thighs. Nice musculature though. We do have pinless tech again, but again, it's just molded in this black. It's, it's like a slightly more matte black though, and everything is consistent. Like the red paint, even this molded red, compared to the painted on red here, all of that, all the coloring here is very consistent. Then you have these shin pieces here, and then these pointed, sleek feet. So again, not really anything different. That's kind of the name of the game. With the Marvel Legends line, of course, it's been like that for its inception. But what we do have new here is rather nice. I do feel like they should have put forth a little bit more effort in detailing and, most particularly the paint. Pretty standard articulation. The head can go up and then down. I wish it was a little bit better. Side to side tilt. Forgot to mention, I think the seam line break isn't too bad around here with the paint there. We do have decent butterfly joint here. Arms can go out like this and then all the way around. We have an upper arm swivel. Double jointed elbow there. Switched out the fists, but all sets of hands swivel, and then they do hinge. We do have a little bit of back and forth of the ball joint, side to side, and then break up a little bit of that paint, but really nice rotation. But you can see we can go forward and back like that, really nice. A little bit of a drop down system here that can push that out a little bit more. Back, I mean, kind of. The split's not great, unfortunately. Upper thigh swivel. We do have some decently tight double jointed knees here. We do have an ankle or a shin swivel, I should say. Down, up, ankle pivot. Measuring out the figure, we're looking at around 16.5 centimeters. So that is going to put this a little bit under 6.5 inches. You can see it's going to be the same height as a retro Spidey figure right there. And it's going to be a little bit taller than the Black Series Mando. Overall, this is a pretty nice figure. I think Hasbro did a pretty good job. I just wish they did a little bit better with the detailing, particularly with the paint. It's just really a basic red with a molded black figure here. That's not to say it's god-awful, because it is some pretty nice paint going on here with a little bit of splotching, but a little bit of shading I think would have gone a little bit more here. I do like that head sculpt though. I forgot to mention the scrunching in between the eyes is really cool, really nice expression there. The rest of the body, is an appropriate reuse if you ask me, as well as those new pouch pieces on the hips are pretty cool. The alternate hands and the blast effects, even though they like to stick out a little bit, they are pretty sick. Articulation is pretty nice, what you would expect with a Marvel Legends figure. And I think that Hasbro nailed the look of Spider-Shot here. It's pretty nice. $25. Got mine on Amazon. I'll leave links down in the description below where you can get it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share, amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.